Welcome to The Drowsy Astronaut, where we explore the hidden depths of the universe, because even the smallest detail can change how we see the whole. Tonight, we journey all the way back to the very beginning, those first fragile seconds after the Big Bang, when the universe itself came into existence. From there, we'll move step by step through each stage of its story, treating every phase as its own chapter. I'll keep the language simple and clear so you can relax, drift off, or even work peacefully while the birth of the universe unfolds softly in the background. Now, before we begin, do me a small favor. Let me know where you're tuning in from tonight. It's always a quiet joy to see how many of you join from every corner of the world. And as always, this isn't a lesson to memorize. Think of it instead as a gentle walk with structure, each idea placed carefully beside an image in your mind, moving forward slowly, unhurried, like the universe itself. We will notice the heat, the pressure, the particles, and the forces, and we will see how time began to flow and how energy shaped the rhythm. If a new term appears, I will give it in ordinary words, before its formal name, so the meaning is clear first and the label comes after. As Aristotle wrote in the 4th century, that the beginning is thought to be more than half of the whole. Once you witness the birth of something, you can never see it in quite the same way again. So by the time we reach the end, your perspective will have gently shifted. And even as you drift into sleep, your subconscious will begin to sense the true flow of time. You'll see the universe not as scattered pieces, but as one vast and connected whole. So, let's begin. The universe began with expansion, as space itself stretched, moving faster than anything the human mind can hold, carrying matter outward in every possible direction. In the earliest fractions of existence, the temperature was so crushing that stability could not last more than a heartbeat, and energy filled the newborn cosmos, shifting with hidden patterns, vibrating everywhere, chaotic but rich with potential. From those moments onward, fragile matter appeared, lasting just long enough to mark the first chapter of creation. The forces of nature unfolded quickly, guiding restless particles, with the strong force binding quarks and gravity reaching faintly across the growing void. In the first seconds of cooling, protons and neutrons survived, their strength holding them against the intense density that surrounded them. But gravity stretched across the cosmos, soft but steady, drawing matter toward balance instead of letting chaos erase it. Through that balance, the structure of creation began, faint but steady enough to persist. The density of everything was immense, as energy pressed across every point, collisions repeating endlessly, giving no pause for rest. In those fractions of moments, unstable particles scattered without end, bouncing and dissolving before they could fully take form. And within that turbulence, early protons and neutrons held steady, fragile but able to remain in place long enough to matter. As expansion carried outward, the chance for stable matter grew, offering the first true foothold for the universe. The universe itself was still unrecognizable, a storm of heat and light, where photons could not travel freely but scattered constantly against dense matter. In this opaque stage, the energy of creation pressed everywhere, blocking any attempt of light to move without being turned. But inside that fog, fragile processes continued, drawing the path toward atoms not yet visible to any eye. From the balance of fire and force, the future of matter was held, waiting for conditions to soften. The cooling continued slowly, allowing early particles to hold together, collisions softening enough for bonds to form. In those first minutes, protons and neutrons fused together, beginning the process known as nucleosynthesis, where hydrogen, helium, and a trace of lithium were born. These atoms were simple, yet their power immense, destined to build stars, galaxies, and the possibility of life itself. From this simplicity, the story of matter unfolded, steady enough to last across the ages. The universe at this stage was young, but matter had begun to endure, forming a foundation for everything to come. Though the heat remained harsh, the particles that survived carried a turning, a shift where permanence began to find its place, and within that fiery environment, the forces held steady, giving matter enough strength to resist collapse. From that balance, the destiny of structure emerged, held firm by the quiet laws of physics. The silence we imagine was unlike the reality, for the cosmos was alive with soundless storms of density and heat. In those fractions of time, energy was tangled, colliding endlessly and scattering across the fog of expansion. But hidden within the brightness, fragile protons and neutrons endured, carrying the memory of what had begun. As time stretched forward, those small structures lasted, ensuring creation leaned toward endurance rather than collapse. The beginning of everything was both violent and calm. Violent in its density, calm in its inevitability. Each force had its role, with the strong holding quarks together, and the weak guiding transformations deep inside particles. And gravity whispered faintly, pulling scattered matter, ensuring the expansion did not erase everything that had just formed. From these moments, the rules of physics were locked, guiding the universe across every age to come. The air you breathe today was not present in that beginning, yet the atoms that now fill your lungs were already taking shape. Every proton that forms the hydrogen in your body was born in those minutes, carried through time unchanged. And helium too, the gas that fills distant stars, was forged here, its origin stretching back to the very first fire. From this nucleosynthesis, the foundation of chemistry began, soft and simple, yet unshakable in its permanence. The cosmos during these moments was heavy with light, but that light could not move freely, scattered endlessly across dense plasma. Imagine standing in that storm, your vision drowned in a glow too thick to escape, brightness pressing everywhere yet showing no shape. And within that brightness, fragile bonds held steady, carrying the quiet promise of structure to come. The future of galaxies was hidden inside this fog, waiting for calm to finally arrive. The temperature was still overwhelming, but cooling came slowly, every fraction of a second opening the path to greater stability. And forces worked together, strong, weak, and gravitational pull, each shaping a balance that kept matter from dissolving again. The universe was less than a second old, yet patterns of creation had already formed, invisible but steady. From that instant, the path of physics stretched forward, guiding every transformation that followed. The laws you rely on today were written here, not in words, but in interactions that never faltered. The gravity that holds you to the earth was the same force stretching faintly through this newborn cosmos, and the energy that powers every star had its origin in this dense storm where particles first found form. From the beginning, every rule was already in place. patient and unchanging, written into the structure of reality. Imagine drifting in that fog where no sound could travel. But collisions filled the airless expanse with ceaseless activity. The plasma around you was bright with photons, scattered constantly, never reaching far before striking again. And everywhere you turned, glowing density pressed against you, so thick that the idea of space itself felt fluid. It was a world without edges, a storm of light. And yet inside it, the story of creation moved forward. The universe stretched farther outward, its expansion cooling the furnace, making space wide enough for matter to breathe. In these moments, the bonds of particles grew more stable, resisting the chaos around them with fragile endurance. And time itself, though newly born, already had direction, carrying events forward instead of backward. From the flow of seconds, the continuity of history was born, marking every step that would come after. The first second may seem too brief for such events. Yet in this second, everything essential had already taken root. All the atoms in the universe trace to these moments, scattered outward in their simplest forms. And though no stars or galaxies yet shone, the seeds of all of them had already been planted. From this beginning, the long journey of cosmos unfolded, patiently across billions of years. The calm you feel now echoes that period, when expansion softened the chaos, even as the universe still boiled with light. It was a time of quiet stability hidden under violent heat, a paradox that carried life's earliest recipe. And every detail mattered, every fragile particle that endured was another step toward a future where complexity could arise. So as you rest, remember that this same story carries through every atom within you. The first second did not end with silence, it ended with motion, steady expansion continuing, carrying matter outward endlessly. And still the universe was young, only a breath in time. Yet already richer than emptiness, already full of promise. The forces that shaped those beginnings never changed. They remain the same today, holding you gently to earth. From that second, the continuity of creation never paused, flowing quietly across billions of years. The experience of that time is beyond vision, yet by slowing down, you can sense it as a feeling. It is the weight of heat, the pressure of density, pressing against every corner of existence, and within it all, the whisper of order, guiding chaos into bonds that endured. From that foundation, the direction of the cosmos was chosen, slow, steady, and patient. The narration you hear now mirrors that slowness, carrying you gently through the most violent birth imaginable. In these moments, creation was both fierce and calm, leaving behind particles that would never be erased. And though the story moves forward, those beginnings remain inside everything around you. The cosmos carries them, the atoms within you prove it, and the flow of time connects you back to that second. The universe flowed forward from its opening second as expansion continued without pause, carrying the first stable particles into a wider stage of creation. In those earliest moments beyond the initial heartbeat, the heat began to soften, and the chance for enduring matter slowly began to grow. And the cooling of expansion gave fragile bonds a moment to hold, as protons clung to neutrons, forming the first building blocks. From this shift, the possibility of permanence entered the story, and atoms prepared to stand against the crushing density of chaos. The density remained overwhelming, pressing upon every direction of space. But now there was time for collisions to form enduring connections. In these minutes, the first fusion began, binding protons and neutrons, creating hydrogen that would become the most abundant element. And within these glowing fires, helium emerged through binding as well, its presence destined to fill the hearts of stars. Even a trace of lithium appeared among the new forms, carried forward as one of the rarest treasures. The hydrogen born in these minutes became the breath of every future star, filling galaxies endlessly with its enduring presence. And the helium joined it in permanence, glowing across the future cosmos, destined to fuel stellar fires as an ancient ingredient. The atoms produced here were simple but eternal, carrying forward as the silent foundation of complexity. From their simplicity, the chemistry of creation would one day emerge, revealing the patient strength of time. The glow of the universe during this stage was everywhere, no corner without brilliance, but none of it yet shaped into visible objects. Imagine drifting inside that haze, your sight drowned by radiance, as brightness pressed across you from every side. And though no stars yet burned, the fog around you remained alive, with every instant birthing countless hidden atoms. From that fog, the first whisper of order was born, and the promise of structure lingered. The cooling spread slowly but without fail, softening the endless storm of density, so that fragile matter might form lasting bonds. In those first few minutes, protons and neutrons fused quietly, forming helium that would remain a constant companion. And while oxygen and heavier elements would wait for stars, this stage mattered deeply, because hydrogen would fill every future. From such simplicity, creation established its rhythm, and permanence became a universal law. The cosmos was bright with radiation, alive with collisions and scattering, but behind the blinding storm, order was taking shape. Imagine resting in that glow, as if wrapped in warmth, not burning, but immersed in a soft, radiant ocean. And all around you, atoms formed in silence without ceremony, yet each one was an eternal survivor. From this process, the future was quietly secured, and the flow of physics never paused. The fractions of minutes stretched into whole moments, and the universe drifted toward calm, replacing wild turbulence with stable patterns. As the protons found their bonds, the cosmos itself became transformed, its fabric now holding the hydrogen that defines it still. And helium too joined the dance, stable and ready to glow, destined to illuminate the earliest stars. From those few minutes, the long pattern of endurance was fixed, written into the silent elements. The experience of being there would not feel like emptiness, but like endless immersion, surrounded by a haze alive with glowing motion. Each atom that emerged was an event of permanence, a miracle of survival, lasting where instability once held dominion. And though no galaxies yet shone, the material for them was complete, carried outward into the expanding void. From this alchemy, the destiny of brilliance was set, and the universe leaned gently toward light. The listener in you may now sense this unfolding as personal, not distant, because your very body contains these early atoms. The impact of those minutes reaches through time itself, giving weight to every molecule inside your flesh. And though the oxygen in your breath was not yet present, the hydrogen was already alive. flowing through blood that would one day exist. From this truth, the continuity of connection feels intimate, uniting you with the earliest moments. The cosmos remained without clear form, no galaxies and no suns, only glowing plasma holding its hidden gifts. Yet, inside that radiant fog, the elements drifted outward patiently, prepared to endure until gravity gave them purpose. And so the universe carried its treasure invisibly, atoms moving outward without shape, waiting for structure. From this unseen simplicity, the visible world would rise, long after the minutes faded into distant memory. The feeling of this age would be peaceful to you now, though born from violence, because order was hidden under chaos. Every atom formed became a step toward calm, and each bore the imprint of the universe's origin. And though no eye could see them, the shift was absolute. Matter itself had chosen endurance. From these beginnings, continuity was born, and creation walked forward under steady laws. The minutes rolled on, but time felt stretched endlessly, each second carrying weight beyond human measure. The forces remained constant, guiding particles with patience, ensuring survival through delicate equilibrium. And with every bond that held, the cosmos grew calmer, preparing the stage for stars. From this quiet unfolding, the rhythm of creation endured, giving permanence to the fragile universe. The radiation filling the newborn cosmos pressed against every corner, stretching in every direction. Yet within that glow, the first hydrogen settled softly into being. Each second allowed collisions to ease a little as expansion widened the stage for bonds, and fragile nuclei became enduring structures hidden in the haze. And plasma churned like a restless ocean, while photons scattered without rest, leaving the scenery drenched in brightness that revealed no shape, only endless motion. From the fog that surrounded every horizon, stability began to deepen, and the patient laws of nature secured what chaos could no longer erase. The helium created beside hydrogen was rarer, yet its importance was immense, for its presence promised the power of future fusion inside stars yet to come. In these minutes, stretched by expansion and heat, neutrons joined protons, composing nuclei that prepared the groundwork for heavier elements, born later in stellar hearts. And lithium appeared only in faint traces, fragile yet undeniable, adding a quiet note to the early chemistry drifting outward across the young universe. From this mixture of light creations, endurance began to dominate, and the newborn cosmos guarded its inventory with gentle steadiness. The haze around you would feel warm rather than burning, as though you floated inside it without harm, surrounded by restless photons colliding in every direction. In every direction, the pressure felt close, as though you were wrapped in it entirely, and the density carried a subtle weight, pressing softly against your awareness. And still, despite the brightness, there was a sense of privacy in that fog, because no single signal could travel far without scattering away. From this immersion, patience was the only rhythm you could follow, letting your attention drift with hidden currents inside the storm. The forces working here did not speak loudly, yet their influence was exact, and they carried the entire stage of stability into the future. In balance, the strong interaction held quarks tightly, while the weak force guided transformations, ensuring harmony between particles through subtle adjustments. And gravity stretched across the haze, too faint to command yet constant, setting matter onto a course for future gatherings that would appear much later. From these principles, continuity was guaranteed, and the universe carried its early outcomes quietly but permanently. The bottleneck for creation lay in the fragile first step, when a proton grasped a neutron, forming a deuterium nucleus that could survive for more than a moment. In those moments when collisions were too violent, the bond shattered again, but cooling expansion gave them confidence enough to hold together longer. And once deuterium survived more often than it failed, new doors opened, and helium nuclei formed with growing regularity across the firestorm. From that threshold, the chemistry of permanence unfolded, and hydrogen, helium, and lithium settled into lasting ratios written into the universe forever. The neutrinos of that time slipped away almost silently, uninterested in collisions, streaming freely through matter as if through emptiness itself. In contrast, photons were trapped, scattering constantly within the haze, building the thermal background that would echo across billions of years. And meanwhile, expansion kept stretching the stage for creation, lowering densities each second, so newborn nuclei could endure without immediate destruction. From these conditions, the minutes gained generosity, and the flow of assembly gathered unstoppable momentum as time advanced. The air you breathe today is not from this stage, yet its lineage is here, because the hydrogen within you began its journey in these first minutes. In quiet reflection, you may feel that connection, a thread of continuity, linking your present heartbeat with those early atoms scattered into space. And lying, still in comfort, the glow becomes more familiar than strange, reminding you that your origin rests in the same rhythm of creation. From this perspective, the minutes feel like home, a cosmic lullaby stretched across ancient distances to reach you now. The scale of these events is beyond daily sense, yet the story is simple, because countless small pieces combined patiently into wholes that lasted. In minutes, too brief for any ordinary clock, the universe finished its essential script and left behind enduring structures for gravity to shape later. And afterward, the scene still resembled a formless glow, hiding progress, though the interior carried a confident arrangement of atoms unshaken by chaos. From such progress, the way forward became inevitable, and the path toward galaxies was drawn in invisible lines. The minutes concluded not with spectacle, but with quiet strength, as hydrogen and helium drifted outward like seeds scattered upon the cosmic breeze. In truth, the change was invisible, for no stars yet burned, but the critical difference rested in consistent abundances carried across space. And so, the universe expanded with disciplined patience, while matter preserved its delicate ratios in every region. From these minutes, a baseline of chemistry traveled forward, anchoring all that followed with dependable ingredients. The story you follow here lingers deliberately in these calm moments, so the creation can feel close to your breathing. In practice, the science is plain once slowed to human rhythm, because we trace small links between modest steps of fusion. And even, if names seem new, their role is gentle, for each describes only a simple action rather than a puzzle. From this approach, the narration invites rest while keeping your interest, letting the flow of creation carry you deeper into calm. The minutes we close with left a universe filled with hydrogen, helium, and a trace of lithium, drifting across an endless expanse. In essence, this was the recipe for everything, a patient foundation. So gravity could later form stars whose fires would reshape it all. And because the ratios were universal, distant regions shared the same outcome, preparing identical paths that would one day shine with starlight. From this quiet success, the cosmos became stable enough to rest, while awaiting the birth of the first stars. The feeling you carry now can rest in that patience, knowing the simplest elements endured under pressure to become lasting companions of life. In sleep, let this narration settle like a blanket, wrapping around your attention, guiding quiet thoughts toward ease as your body rests. And as these minutes fade into the next chapter, remember their calm, for the glow itself was a cradle for everything that followed. From this chapter, we will step gently forward together, carried by the universe toward its dawn. The universe entered a quieter but longer stage after the first minutes had passed, and the fog of light wrapped every horizon softly. Each photon scattered endlessly, striking electrons without pause. So the glow created no clarity, only brilliance spread evenly across the cosmos. And the cosmos felt like a glowing ocean, restless yet strangely calm, where every motion repeated without end, hiding future structure within turbulence. From this opaque age of brightness, patience was required, because transparency would not arrive until hundreds of thousands of years had stretched forward. The experience of drifting here would not resemble darkness, but immersion in endless glow, as if wrapped completely in radiant plasma without escape. In every direction the same haze appeared, thick and pressing, leaving no shadow, only constant brilliance without edges or form, and the listener within you would lose all orientation, for there were no landmarks to hold, only brightness surrounding your senses gently. From this immersion came the first lesson of patience, teaching that creation unfolds through hidden processes rather than visible fireworks. The cosmos contained no stars or galaxies yet, only plasma scattered without form, with glowing photons trapped in endless scatterings. In truth, the universe during this stage was uniform and plain, every horizon filled with restless particles colliding endlessly inside the fog, and though no shapes could be seen, subtle differences lingered, faint ripples in density that gravity would later magnify into galaxies. From those imperfections, the universe gained its future, proving that order often begins within quiet imbalance. The opaque universe endured across 380,000 years, a span unimaginable to us, yet only a short chapter in the cosmic story. During this long age, photons could not yet travel freely, bound in restless collisions with electrons scattered everywhere. And inside that brightness, matter and energy existed as one blended substance, unable to separate into clarity until the cooling reached a threshold. From such conditions, the fog stretched across space, but its days were numbered as recombination prepared its silent arrival. The temperature fell steadily as expansion continued outward, moment by moment, lowering energy enough for particles to hold positions. In time, electrons slowed and joined with protons securely, creating neutral atoms and ending the restless scatterings. And once these bonds held, photons at last streamed free, carrying across the universe a record of early conditions. From that release, transparency finally arrived, leaving behind the oldest surviving signal of creation. The listener in you might imagine watching this fog dissolve, as brightness stretched and softened into a gentler glow. At first, the scene would redden as light cooled with expansion, fading into a quiet spectrum of ancient radiation. And though invisible to the human eye, satellites now reveal it, detecting faint patterns written into that cosmic afterglow. From this signal, scientists trace the earliest seeds, learning how galaxies formed from ripples of density. The universe before recombination was like a crowded hall of echoes, where every voice collided before reaching clear ears. In contrast, after transparency began, it became like an open field, where each photon could travel far with steady direction. And the sky that appeared then was not filled with stars, but with glow. A soft wash of light carrying hidden information. From that moment, photons became storytellers of time, holding the history of the cosmos in their journey. The opaque period, though silent to memory, was essential, for it preserved the subtle differences that shaped structure. Tiny ripples in density survived the turbulence of scattering, becoming gravitational anchors for galaxies and clusters. And without this long stage, order might never have emerged, for earlier chaos could have erased delicate variations. From such patience, the cosmos learned endurance, allowing future forms to rise from hidden imbalance. The feeling of drifting then would be paradoxical, bright yet blind, because photons existed everywhere but carried no clear images. To float inside it meant losing orientation completely, since every horizon displayed the same glowing field. And even as atoms formed quietly, no obvious forms appeared, leaving only the sensation of endless immersion. From these conditions, creation paused visibly, though invisible progress continued beneath the fog. The minutes of the early fire had passed, yet the work continued slowly, as matter cooled and plasma thinned with gentle steadiness. Over years without count, photons remained delayed by electrons, unable to gain freedom until recombination was complete. And still, the universe advanced, though at a rhythm too slow for eyes, expansion carrying matter outward as transparency approached quietly. From this interval, the stage was prepared for light to roam freely and reveal early structure. The afterglow from recombination remains around us still, stretched into microwaves and covering every direction. In silence, detectors pick up its faint ripples, mapping the small patterns of density scattered through it. And while weaker than starlight, its value is immense, because it preserves a snapshot of cosmic origins. From this record, we understand the earliest phases, learning how galaxies emerged from hidden seeds. The experience of hearing this now may slow your thoughts, letting them drift like photons through the early plasma. As you listen, the narration offers rhythm without hurry, so each pause becomes a chance to rest in calm. And with every moment, the tempo softens further, mirroring the quiet patience of primordial light. From this feeling, relaxation arrives naturally, as though you too are resting inside the cosmic fog. The cosmos, after recombination, was suddenly darker, yet more transparent, because light now traveled freely across space, revealing nothing but potential. In truth, this was the birth of the visible universe, though no stars had yet lit their first fires. And still, in that new clarity, gravity worked patiently, drawing atoms into subtle clouds over millions of years. From this foundation, the first galaxies would later appear, guided by the invisible hand of gravity. The opaque era ended with freedom for photons, but its imprint lingers, stretched faintly across the microwave sky. Every measurement of that glow adds detail to the story, revealing the early clusters of matter hidden in it. And though our eyes cannot see it, our instruments capture its texture, translating it into maps of cosmic beginnings. From this echo, we find continuity with time, knowing that the signal has traveled billions of years to reach us. The cosmos reached a turning point after hundreds of thousands of years, as electrons slowed, bonded, and allowed neutral atoms to form at last. In that shift, photons finally gained freedom, no longer scattered constantly, drifting outward across the expanding space, carrying memories of early conditions with them. And the moment transparency arrived, the universe changed forever, as light traveled great distances, unhindered, revealing the first true clarity of existence. From this release, the cosmos gained a sky, not with stars, but with a soft glow that stretched across every horizon. The transition is called recombination, a quiet revolution in physics, when electrons joined protons, creating hydrogen and freeing light from the plasma sea. At once, the universe shifted in tone from turbulent brightness to a calmer expanse, where photons traveled freely and revealed faint patterns. And within that new clarity, light stretched redder and softer, expanding across the cosmos, cooling with every mile, holding ancient information within it. From those photons, scientists today can still trace ripples of density and faint signatures of structure hidden in the microwave background. The listener inside you may imagine this change unfolding slowly as the fog dissolved and the horizon grew until light revealed its freedom. In every direction, a faint reddish glow filled the cosmos, softer than fire but endless, carrying the trace of cosmic origin. And the sky you would see then was not like today's night, but a dim wash of colour, stretching with no stars. From this sight, you might feel both awe and stillness, because the first visible universe carried only promise, not yet form. The cosmos was now transparent, but not yet decorated, for galaxies and stars had not yet risen from clouds of hydrogen and helium. In truth, the universe was still empty of familiar shapes, waiting silently as gravity prepared to sculpt order from chaos, and the fog that once blinded vision now stretched invisibly, leaving behind only photons that carried the story of beginnings. From that release, light became a permanent traveler, crossing billions of years to reach our waiting eyes. The afterglow of recombination is still around us today, stretched into microwaves, invisible to sight but measurable by sensitive detectors. In silence, satellites observe faint ripples in that radiation, maps of density, showing the seeds of galaxies and future clusters, and the patterns are delicate, only slight variations in brightness, yet powerful enough to shape the web of cosmic structure. From this background, scientists build the earliest maps, revealing how galaxies began from tiny fluctuations. The release of light also marked a new age, when energy could travel freely and distances could reveal meaning. In contrast, before this stage, photons were chained within plasma, trapped endlessly, unable to carry signals or create clarity. And the difference was profound, for this was the first time the universe displayed anything beyond formless radiance. From this change, cosmic time grew quieter, waiting for the next chapter of stars. The feeling of drifting then would be unusual, brighter than darkness, but softer than fire, a strange, calm illumination. To float within it meant seeing only one thing, a faint glow, endless, smooth, carrying hidden secrets across its spectrum. And even though structure remained invisible, your senses would rest, because light itself had become steady and gentle. From this atmosphere, sleep would come easily, guided by the calm of primordial light. The cosmic microwave background is the faint whisper of that release, stretched to long wavelengths but carrying unbroken information. Each photon has traveled for billions of years since then, never colliding again, only drifting until it reached our detectors. And the message they carry is precise, showing slight differences that grew into the galaxies and clusters we now see. From that evidence, we know our origins clearly, connecting today's universe with its earliest moments. The sky that emerged after recombination contained no familiar constellations, only a gentle haze, still uniform but free of dense plasma. In time, this openness allowed gravity to begin its subtle work, gathering atoms, pulling them inward, creating clouds. And slowly, the first seeds of galaxies began forming. Though invisible still, their fate was already written. From this freedom, structure could finally grow, tracing the outlines of future creation. The opaque age had ended, and a new chapter opened, with photons unchained, filling space with traveling light. This freedom transformed the cosmos from hidden to visible, though the view was simple, plain, and still lacking stars. And the stillness of this period was profound, a waiting room of time, silent but full of unseen potential. From such silence, galaxies would one day ignite, as the fabric of creation unfolded with patience. The listener hearing this may feel the pace slow, thoughts softening, body relaxing, following the rhythm of cosmic expansion. In this narration, there is no rush, no urgency, only a story unfolding as photons drift across the void. And with every pause, your breathing may deepen, carried gently by the steady current of early light. From this calm, sleep comes naturally, just as galaxies came naturally from drifting clouds. The afterglow still exists as proof that we are connected to the very beginning, across time, through shared atoms. Every hydrogen atom in your body was born in those minutes, carried forward, waiting billions of years to build life. And the light you cannot see still moves around you, whispering faintly as the first radiation of creation. From this connection, you may sense belonging, for the universe holds your story within its glow. The cosmos grew dimmer as expansion carried light outward, yet that dimness was richness, preserving memory. In truth, the darkness was not empty, but filled with photons, traveling endlessly, invisible now, but heavy with history. And still, within that quiet, seeds of stars waited, invisible but sure as gravity prepared its stage. From this pause, we sense the slowness of cosmic time, each moment stretching longer than our imagination allows. The release of light was not a burst, but a passage, a transition into transparency where photons left their chains. In contrast, earlier moments were dense and closed, leaving no view, only restless scattering of energy. And the opening of the sky was delicate, like a curtain lifted, showing only a soft glow, not yet true illumination. From this threshold, the universe moved forward calmly, allowing structure to form and stars to emerge later. The universe entered a long silence after the glow of recombination faded, with no stars shining yet, only hydrogen and helium drifting quietly across the widening sea of space. In those early millions of years, matter spread evenly, pulled gently by gravity, forming faint clouds. Though no visible light marked their gathering, the darkness felt complete, yet it was not truly empty. for subtle variations in density prepared the framework of galaxies still hidden from view. You are surrounded by stillness so profound it carries no spark. Only the softened afterglow, stretched thinner, cooling slowly into faint microwaves, settling across every horizon around you. The dark ages lasted far longer than the fiery first minutes. Hundreds of millions of years stretched outward before the first glowing fires appeared. In truth, this stage was essential because gravity needed time, pulling hydrogen gently into silent halos, preparing the foundations of galaxies not yet visible. The cosmos looked bare, but beneath the surface matter moved slowly, clustering into invisible frameworks, hidden from the eye but strong enough to shape the future. From this patience, the balance of creation was secured, ensuring the eventual birth of stars would unfold with stability, not chaos. The sky of this time held no constellations, no galaxies, no light, only hydrogen and helium atoms filling the expanse silently. In every direction, the same darkness stretched without features, though invisible forces were guiding clouds into shape beneath the silence. The cosmos offered only quiet persistence, moving without spectacle, and gravity deepened its hold on gathering matter, binding the unseen web. You are carried within this hush, sensing only the slow rhythm, as atoms fall together, guided patiently into faint structures, hidden in the void. The canvas of creation remained blank to the eye, yet hidden beneath, faint outlines of possibility traced the skeleton of galaxies. In those invisible depths, atoms pressed inward slowly, building subtle cores, though no starlight revealed their hidden growth. The dark matter, invisible yet dominant, shaped the gravity of everything, sculpting wells that trapped atoms quietly within. From this framework, galaxies began their unseen formation, destined to glow, though for now they remained shrouded in silent clouds. The emptiness of this era was deceptive, for it carried progress unseen. Atoms drifted gently, yet slowly formed fragile motions. In truth, to rest here was to sense silence layered with promise, density shifting faintly, creating invisible patterns across the cosmos. The calm pressed against you with no interruption, only continuity, while unseen clusters grew under gravity's patience. From this quiet, the universe built its order, forming the foundations of the first brilliant fires to come. The cosmos cooled further as expansion spread outward without end. Temperatures dropped slowly, allowing atoms to remain steady in their clouds. In every clump of matter, invisible pressures grew stronger, faint cores forming silently, hidden deep inside. The weighting grew heavy as hydrogen reached densities that pressed against themselves, the seeds of fusion quietly prepared in silence. You are resting within this patience, sensing the pull of forces around you, as the universe moves calmly toward its first ignition, hidden but certain. The Dark Ages stretched so long that their silence defined the cosmos. More time passed without light than with flame. In those millions of years, galaxies remained unborn, but gravitational threads tied the cosmos into subtle structure. The stillness was vital, for without such waiting, order could not rise. Hydrogen needed this quiet to gather into cores. From this intermission, balance prepared the way, ensuring the first galaxies emerged with stable forms ready to shine. The experience of drifting in this era would feel timeless. Each moment stretched slowly into the next, without urgency or spark. In truth, Nothing moved quickly. Gravity worked with patience, pressing hydrogen gently into clumping halos. The breath of the cosmos slowed, calmer than ever before, carrying matter forward while faint variations deepened quietly. From this synchrony, the rhythm of creation unfolded as you felt yourself aligned with its steady pulse. The first stars marked the end of this long shadow, but their ignition required immense patience before. In those clouds, gravity continued pulling atoms into dense clusters, shaping cores silently until they reached critical temperatures. The cosmos seemed paused, but destiny advanced beneath its silence. Every atom carried the weight of fusion yet to come. You are surrounded by anticipation, sensing the hush before brilliance, knowing even the universe needed long preparation before first light. The silence stretched endlessly, but promise was always near. Hydrogen gathered into oceans, drifting toward critical densities. In every region, faint filaments tied clouds together, weaving invisible threads that guided galaxies. The cosmos grew quieter, yet its stillness grew heavier, pressing toward collapse, igniting cores in slow inevitability. From that patience, the first galaxies stirred unseen, waiting for the brilliance of early stars to emerge. The darkness did not mean emptiness, but preparation, a stage set for nuclear fires. In fact, without these long ages, nothing lasting could form. Galaxies required time to settle into ordered frameworks. The quiet taught endurance, reminding you of cosmic balance. Slowness held the universe steady while unseen forces sculpted matter. From this lesson, calm becomes reassurance, as even creation itself unfolds through measured steps. The end of the Dark Ages came slowly, not suddenly. Hydrogen clouds collapsed quietly, forming massive stars. In those ignitions, fusion began, scattering heavier elements. The seeds of life were born in silence. The cosmos shifted forever, no longer bound to darkness. Glowing points broke the night, carried by nuclear fires. You are present for this awakening, sensing the calm give way to brilliance as the first illumination paints the sky. The Dark Ages stretched quietly until the silence broke. Clouds of hydrogen collapsed inward, creating the first dense cores, heavy enough to ignite fusion. In these beginnings, gravity pressed relentlessly, binding atoms tighter, until heat rose high, sparking the very first fires in the cosmos. The cosmos shifted forever as brilliance returned, piercing the stillness. For the first stars glowed, immense and powerful, scattering light across the once dark expanse. From this moment, creation carried a new rhythm. The birth of stars began a cycle that would shape every galaxy to follow. The first stars were unlike those we see today, far greater in scale. Massive giants burning hydrogen quickly into heavier elements. In mere millions of years, their lifespans ended violently, scattering debris outward, filling space with enriched matter, seeding future generations. The universe glowed with new brilliance, points of light emerging where only darkness had existed. Early galaxies were seeded with luminous giants. From their fusion, the periodic table expanded slowly, with oxygen, carbon, and nitrogen created within stellar cores. The cosmos lit up unevenly, like lanterns spread in a vast field. scattered stars formed where gravity gathered clouds tightly. In each region, pockets of brilliance marked transformation. Stars illuminated their surroundings, ionizing hydrogen, changing the chemistry of the intergalactic medium. The process was explosive yet orderly, as fusion within stars shaped the universe's destiny, the balance between creation and destruction now visible. From this turning, matter became richer, allowing future planets and life to become possible. The brightness of these first stars ended the great stillness. Photons streamed outward, reionizing hydrogen, altering the environment. In truth, they acted as cosmic beacons, carving regions of light, transforming shadows into glowing zones filled with radiation. The cosmos moved from silence into symphony, with countless points of brilliance, every new star a note in the unfolding harmony. From that awakening, the sky became layered, with clusters and galaxies forming around stellar furnaces. The giants of this age lived quickly, burning hotter than later stars, exhausting their fuel with urgency. In just millions of years, many collapsed into black holes. Others exploded as supernovae, scattering matter outward into the void. The energy of these deaths echoed across space, spreading heavy elements. Iron, carbon, and oxygen became gifts from dying giants. From such deaths, the cycle of enrichment began, ensuring later generations of stars contained richer ingredients. The listener within you would now sense brightness returning to the sky, countless points breaking the long darkness. In every direction, new constellations of possibility emerged. Galaxies formed as stars grouped into clusters tied by gravity. The cosmos transformed, shifting from empty fog to luminous depth. Light filled the universe, altering shadows, giving structure to existence. You are watching creation bloom, each star blazing fiercely, a reminder that patience always leads to radiant beginnings, even after silence. The first stars seeded galaxies, acting as gravitational anchors, pulling more matter inward to form larger structures. In truth, galaxies were born as stars grouped together, their combined light scattering through clouds, ionizing interstellar hydrogen. The web of cosmic filaments guided matter, creating vast interconnected designs. Galaxies gathered along threads, shaping the visible cosmos. From those patterns, order grew. What was once invisible became illuminated with glowing clusters. The cosmos now held both darkness and light, a mixture of contrasts. Stars burned brightly while voids remained silent. In time, the balance tipped toward illumination as more stars ignited, filling the universe with growing brilliance. The process of starbirth was constant, never-ending, a cycle repeated across billions of regions, every generation scattering gifts of elements outward. From that endless work, galaxies flourished, carrying within them the power of stellar fires. The experience of drifting here would be unlike the Dark Ages, for countless points now filled the sky. In every direction, light streamed outward, bathing you softly, carrying memories of fusion written within stellar spectra. The calmness remained, yet it was painted with radiance, a mixture of silence and glowing stars scattered across the horizon. You are embraced by light, its warmth reaching across distances, showing you that darkness was never permanent, only a passage before illumination. The giants burned quickly, short-lived yet powerful, creating immense radiation, carving bubbles into the intergalactic medium. In their violent ends, they scattered enriched matter outward. Heavy elements joined the cosmic inventory, building blocks for everything to come. The aftermath of their explosions seeded future galaxies with possibilities. Planets, water, and life would trace back to those furnaces. From these ashes, the cosmos became fertile, enriched fields where complexity could one day thrive. The cosmos expanded even as galaxies formed. Distance grew between clusters, but gravity bound stars into spirals and ellipticals. In truth, galaxies became factories, recycling matter endlessly. Stars died, their debris formed new generations. The cycle of birth and death continued with purpose. Galaxies sparkled as endless engines of fusion. From this process, abundance multiplied. Life's future written in the stars' ashes. The awakening of starlight changed the fabric of time. What once was empty now flowed with visible patterns. In every corner of the universe, brightness grew stronger, while silence retreated, broken by glowing fires. The transition between darkness and light defined cosmic history. This moment when the first stars ignited reshaped destiny. From that threshold, the universe matured, carrying its first generation of shining giants. The cycle of stellar life continued endlessly, birthing galaxies of countless forms, spirals, clusters, and globular spheres. In truth, the first stars set this process into motion. Their brilliance inspired generations of new stars. The cosmos now displayed variety shaped by the first fires. Galaxies gained structure held together by stellar gravity. From these beginnings, the sky became recognizable, no longer hidden in shadow but luminous with endless points. The galaxies emerged from the silence of the dark ages, rising slowly from clouds of hydrogen, their stars gathering into clusters that faintly brightened the vast cosmic ocean. Over time, the gravitational pull tightened in visible threads. Spirals unfolded, ellipticals took shape, and irregular galaxies drifted in restless forms. The sky was no longer uniform, but dotted with glowing islands, their light scattering into every corner of the expanding universe. From this moment, galaxies defined the structure of the cosmos, luminous beacons stitched into the silent fabric of space, spirals unfurled like pinwheels, arms glittering with billions of stars, each orbit guided by gravity into symmetry across unimaginable distances. At their hearts, black holes lurked, unseen but decisive. These engines controlled motion, shaping the rhythm of galactic life. Beyond appearance, balance held steady. The harmony between matter and light endured. Galaxies became long-lasting patterns, surviving across billions of years. You are drifting within this order, feeling the sweep of spirals, their quiet motion carrying you into the heart of their slow dance. Across clusters, galaxies collided, their stars swirling through distorted arms. Gravity twisted orbits, reshaping structures without destroying their essence. When giants met, they merged into larger ellipticals. Bursts of new stars ignited, born from compressed clouds. The aftermath of each collision seeded the future. Heavy elements scattered, enriching the interstellar medium with precious matter. From these encounters, galaxies grew larger and richer. Collisions, though violent, were also acts of cosmic renewal. Unlike earlier eras, the sky was now layered with variety. Spirals curved elegantly, ellipticals shone smoothly, irregular galaxies carried scars of struggle. Here, diversity was striking, no two galaxies the same. Some shapes revealed order, others showed turbulence frozen in light. The cosmos transformed into a gallery, every galaxy a painting. Strokes of starlight revealed both chaos and grace. You are resting among visions, sensing the quiet patience of creation. Galaxies drift calmly, each one a silent expression of time. Beyond individual galaxies, larger patterns took hold. Groups clustered together into vast superstructures, stretching across unimaginable distances. Suddenly, filaments appeared, thin threads of matter linking galaxies, while great voids expanded between these webs. The universe grew organized, a network etched across space. Galaxies aligned along invisible lines, gravity's artistry revealed. From that design, the cosmos wove its tapestry. Connections tied galaxies into vast patterns that endure even now. The clusters themselves grew massive, with hundreds or thousands of galaxies bound together. Their motions kept stable by dark matter's unseen weight. In each cluster, galaxies orbited one another slowly, drawn by gravity yet separated by immense voids. Here scale reached new heights, distances too vast to cross. Yet galaxies remained part of shared families. You are gazing across bridges, watching threads of light connect galaxies. Cosmic webs stretch outward, holding quiet coherence. Over billions of years, spirals gained symmetry. Their graceful arms showed endurance while cores glowed with concentrated light. The ellipticals grew smoother, massive collections of older stars, less chaotic. Their energy burned steadily but dimly. Some galaxies remained irregular, reminders of violent pasts, scars of collision preserved in twisted forms. From such variety, the universe gained richness. Galaxies carried countless stories within their stars. Across distances, galaxies collided again and again. The universe itself was a stage for constant motion. In truth, collisions rarely destroyed stars. Instead, orbits shifted, while new clusters of light ignited. The outcome of such meetings reshaped the heavens. Spirals merged into ovals, bursts of brilliance lit new regions. From these acts, growth accelerated. Galaxies evolved into grander, more complex systems. The brightness of galaxies illuminated the cosmos. Billions of stars contributed to each glowing form. In every direction, light spread outward across the void. Galaxies turned darkness into luminous landscapes. The balance of energy and gravity sustained this growth. Each galaxy maintained structure across immense time. You are surrounded by splendor, galaxies drifting past calmly, their glow reminding you of timeless endurance. At last, galaxies revealed their endurance. Many survived collisions, growing stronger as they absorbed smaller companions. The largest galaxies contained trillions of stars, massive communities of light, entire histories written within their clusters. Over time, groups of galaxies created larger structures. Filaments and sheets stretched across unimaginable scales. From this network, the architecture of the cosmos became clear. Galaxies were the cornerstones of cosmic design. Here, silence was transformed into order, the universe no longer empty, but alive with luminous patterns. Unlike before, when only individual stars existed, galaxies now defined the sky. Their glow spread across the heavens. The universe appeared fuller, each galaxy a collection of suns, a beacon of light in surrounding darkness. You are part of this unfolding, carried by the calm rhythm. Galaxies drift endlessly, showing the patience of time. Over centuries, galaxies aged, stars within them cycled from birth to death. Enrichment spread and heavier elements formed. The spirals continued generating new stars. Their arms glowed with young, bright clusters. Elliptical giants grew calmer, filled with older stars, less fiery, but still enduring across cosmic ages. From this balance, diversity deepened. Galaxies showed how creation takes many paths. Across the observable universe, billions of galaxies shone. Their light traveling billions of years before reaching distant eyes. In truth, to look at them was to see the past. Each galaxy revealed ancient eras, frozen in light. The view became overwhelming, yet soothing. Endless galaxies filled every patch of sky. You are gazing into history as photons arrive across eons, carrying stories of galaxies long gone, their memory preserved. Beyond sight, galaxies carried potential for worlds unseen. Planetary systems formed quietly within them, waiting for time. The ingredients of life spread across galaxies: carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, drifting from stellar depths into fertile clouds. Here, possibility grew, though still hidden in darkness. Galaxies were the cradles where life would eventually emerge. From this foundation, existence gained depth. The building blocks of worlds rested within glowing arms. The cosmos by this stage resembled a vast city. Galaxies were neighborhoods of light, each holding countless stars. In every direction, structure was clear. Clusters, filaments, and voids defined the cosmic landscape. The web stretched endlessly, galaxies aligned along threads, while gravity bound them into shared communities. You are floating across avenues of light, tracing the pathways where galaxies connect into grand cosmic designs. Over billions of years, galaxies continued to evolve. Collisions, mergers, and quiet growth shaped their forms. The patterns they created defined the universe, no longer random, but coherent, structured by gravity's laws. Unlike before, the silence of the cosmos was gone. Galaxies filled the void with light and motion. From that shift, the universe matured. Galaxies became the eternal architects of cosmic order. Across distances, galaxies no longer stood alone. They gathered into vast filaments, immense threads stretching across billions of light years, weaving the universe into quiet design. Here, gravity was the sculptor, pulling galaxies into alignment, their motions guided by the unseen mass of dark matter. The patterns grew larger than any single cluster could hold. Filaments reached out like bridges, connecting galaxies across endless space. From this web, structure emerged steadily, a cosmic lattice that gave the universe its form. The voids between these filaments were vast and nearly empty, regions where galaxies were scarce, silent expanses stretching across unimaginable distances. In contrast, the filaments teemed with activity. Galaxies lined up in intricate chains, glowing faintly along invisible paths. The cosmos displayed both fullness and emptiness, balance across scales, density and absence working together to define structure. You are floating across bridges, tracing luminous threads, each one tying the universe into a vast unseen network. Unlike earlier times when stars marked the only structure, galaxies now revealed alignment on scales far larger. The filaments acted as highways of matter, carrying galaxies across the void, their shapes defined by gravity's patient pull. Over time, filaments thickened with galaxies, forming walls of light, great sheets of clustered systems bordering empty voids. From these designs, the cosmic web appeared clearly, architecture revealed in the distribution of countless worlds. The universe now resembled a vast sponge filled with filaments and voids, matter arranged into repeating patterns at the largest scales. In truth, the cosmic web defined how structure evolved. Galaxies clustered in dense nodes, linked by threads of light. The balance of forces created harmony. Dark matter shaped the scaffolding, while visible galaxies traced its lines. You are seeing order emerge, stretched across eternity, the grand design written in webs of light and shadow. Here, clusters of galaxies sat at intersections. Where filaments crossed, nodes formed immense concentrations of mass. The gravity at these points drew thousands of galaxies together, their motions bound into collective orbits around invisible anchors. Beyond sight, dark matter supported the structure, its unseen weight forming the skeleton that galaxies followed. From those nodes, filaments extended outward, creating bridges of light across the cosmic landscape. The motions of galaxies within the web were not random. Their paths were channeled along threads of matter. Over millions of years, flows of gas and dust followed these routes, fueling star formation inside clustered galaxies. The web acted as both boundary and pathway, guiding growth of galaxies as they evolved. You are drifting along currents carried across invisible lines, the map of the cosmos unfolding in luminous threads. Beyond scale, the cosmic web became the largest structure known, spanning billions of light years, linking galaxies into immense frameworks. The depth of this network defied comprehension. Filaments wound across space, anchoring billions of suns into repeating patterns. In each filament, galaxies moved together, bound by shared gravity, their paths defined by the geometry of dark matter. From this order, the universe revealed its skeleton, an architecture hidden beneath glowing stars. Unlike smaller structures, the web was fragile and delicate. Its threads stretched thin, yet they held entire galaxies in alignment. The beauty of this was subtle, revealed in distribution maps. Patterns of light showed galaxies connected into cosmic filigree. Over time, astronomers uncovered this design. Though the web had always existed, galaxies followed it faithfully, obeying dark matter's laws. You are resting within this symphony, seeing harmony across scales. Galaxies arranged into silent chords of cosmic music. The web itself was alive with growth. Streams of matter flowed inward, fueling galaxies at filament junctions. Here, activity surged. Star formation ignited where gas accumulated. Galaxies became brighter along busy paths. In contrast, the voids remained empty, echoing silence. Balance was found between luminous threads and dark expanses. From this dance, creation spread outward, matter shaped by invisible design into glowing structures. Across clusters, galaxies linked together into superclusters, their bonds forged by shared filaments stretching across unimaginable distances. At their intersections, galaxies swirled in dense collections, forming hubs of cosmic activity. The motions of these superclusters were slow but immense. Gravitational attraction tied them into enduring families. You are moving through avenues of light, seeing superclusters aligned, each one a beacon across the cosmic map. The voids that surrounded these structures were equally important. Their emptiness emphasized the presence of luminous bridges. In those vast spaces, galaxies were rare, silence prevailed. Yet even here, faint motions carried whispers of matter. The contrast defined beauty, fullness against emptiness, filaments glowing against dark cosmic gaps. From this balance, the universe gained elegance. Silence gave meaning to luminous threads. Over time, galaxies flowed along the filaments, moving into clusters. Migration shaped by the structure of cosmic webs. The currents of gas-enriched galaxies, fueling star formation. Their light spread outward, marking pathways through space. Unlike chaotic motion, this flow was orderly, guided by gravity, sustained across endless scales. You are part of this movement, carried along rivers of galaxies. The quiet journey stretched across eternal space. The scale of the web placed human thought into perspective. Billions of galaxies arranged into silent patterns. At its largest, the universe showed repetition. Structures echoed across distance, galaxies aligned in similar forms. The beauty of this repetition lay in its calmness. No matter where you looked, the web revealed its order. From that continuity, reassurance came. The cosmos itself was steady, following its own quiet rules. Here, light and shadow worked together. Galaxies lit the threads, voids deepened their contrast. Over eras, the filaments persisted, unbroken, their designs unchanged even as galaxies aged. The web endured, patient across billions of years, carrying galaxies steadily along its invisible lines. You are resting in this endurance, comforted by stability. Galaxies move, yet the web holds eternal shape. The cosmos revealed its artistry at the largest scale. Threads of galaxies resembled woven fabric. In maps, astronomers traced the web, revealing its immensity, every glowing dot part of a larger design. The view humbled thought, reminding us of perspective, why galaxies were not scattered but tied into vast structures. From this knowledge, calm spreads. The universe follows its patient geometry. Stars labored quietly within galaxies, their fusion turning hydrogen into heavier elements. Inside each core, the alchemy of the universe slowly unfolded. Over millions of years, suns forged new materials. Their quiet fires enriched the cosmos with oxygen, carbon, and iron. Galaxies changed as these gifts spread, star after star, contributing to the chemical story. Nothing remained untouched by this flowing process. Each cycle of birth and death deepened complexity. The fabric of existence grew richer with every generation of stellar workers. Massive giants lived quickly, burning their fuel in furious pace, their lives measured in millions rather than billions of years. Smaller stars endured patiently, glowing steadily for eons. Their light stretched across time far longer than civilizations could ever imagine. When giants collapsed, they did so violently, releasing supernova bursts that scattered elements far across interstellar space. These explosions seeded galaxies with heavier matter, ensuring future stars and planets carried the legacy of stellar death. Supernovae blossomed like cosmic fireworks, yet their pace was slow, each flash lasting weeks but influencing billions of years of history. Across galaxies, these explosions recycled stardust. The ash became soil for new planetary systems. Unlike silent stars that simply faded, supernovae declared themselves with force. Their shockwaves reshaped interstellar clouds. Every eruption carried potential for future life. scattering the ingredients that someday would breathe as conscious beings. Clusters formed as gas condensed, birthing families of stars together, their shared origin preserved in the gravity that kept them bound. In nurseries, dust circled newborn suns. Faint disks began to condense into planets and moons. The relationship between stars and planets was undeniable. Without stellar deaths, no rocky worlds could exist. Each nursery whispered of potential, systems forming quietly within their swirling clouds. You are drifting near fields of starbirth, where clouds shimmer faintly. The glow of newborn suns spreads across veils of dust. Here, silence feels alive, every flicker a beginning. Planets stir unseen within the soft mist. You are part of this moment, floating in the cradles of creation. Your atoms once hidden in stellar nurseries. As you drift through light, you feel connection deepen. The cosmos works patiently, guiding you through its endless cycle. Nebulae spread like vast paintings across galaxies, glowing from ultraviolet light. These clouds were both remnants and beginnings. Over time, gas from dead stars condensed again. The materials enriched by carbon and oxygen created fertile grounds for planets. The cycle of stars was not wasteful. Even destruction became source of renewal. Every nebula carried both memory and promise, a testament to continuity written across the stellar canvas. Galaxies flourished through this repetition, with billions of stars shaping their environment. Gravity, fusion, and collapse all left quiet traces. Unlike chaos, the system showed remarkable order. Each pattern repeated across the universe, scaled from suns to galaxies. Within these repeating cycles, chemistry advanced. The universe grew more capable of hosting complexity with each passing age. Such growth revealed design in patience, progress written not in haste, but through stellar labor. Across spirals, younger stars glowed blue and fierce. These youths burned hot but quickly. Ellipticals held older populations, their colors shifted toward red. The ancients lingered quietly with endurance. Each galaxy told its own biography through starlight. The spectrum carried hints of age and composition. Light itself became a storyteller. Spectra revealed histories hidden in stellar cores. You are resting beneath rivers of stars that stretch endlessly. Their light brushes gently across your closed eyes. Everywhere around you, galaxies continue working, recycling their matter. Your own bones carry the mark of their quiet gifts. You are not separate from this grand labor. You are the result of countless generations. As suns burned and died, your place was prepared. The universe made space for you in its endless tapestry. Iron atoms within your blood once blazed inside a star. Oxygen in your breath was fused in ancient cores. Even calcium in your bones carries stellar history, remnants of stars long vanished from the sky. The connection is not poetic, but literal. You are materially linked to stellar forges. Every heartbeat echoes their labor. Your life testifies to the quiet work of suns. Binary systems added further richness, two stars orbiting each other. Their shared gravity shaped planetary systems differently. Some pairs merged violently, scattering material across wide regions. Their collisions added to cosmic diversity. Others balanced delicately, enduring for billions of years. Stable partnerships among stars shaped galactic evolution. These duets expanded possibility. the universe revealed its complexity through stellar relationships. Pulsars spun furiously, remnants of collapsed stars. Their beams of light swept the cosmos like lighthouses. Over time, they slowed, but their precision endured, ticking clocks across the universe's expanses. The remnants of stars carried as much meaning as their lives, each object a testament to stellar strength. In their persistence, guidance was offered. Pulsars revealed stability hidden in apparent chaos. You are floating with awareness of these extremes, sensing the balance between fury and silence. Every detail adds to the grand pattern. Here, patience feels tangible, nothing rushed. Galaxies reveal themselves slowly, their stars writing stories without end. You are sharing in this stillness, drifting with the rhythm of creation. The cycle carries you as part of its continuity. Even when silence deepens, it holds meaning. The cosmos whispers softly, inviting you to remain at rest. Over epochs, supernovae spread essential ingredients. Nitrogen, phosphorus, and carbon shaped the chemistry of galaxies. These elements formed the foundations of water and DNA, the roots of life on future planets. Unlike isolated events, their influence persisted. Supernova remnants enriched environments across countless worlds. In this inheritance, stars became more than lights. They became universal teachers of creation. Galactic winds carried stardust outward, shaping the interstellar medium. Enriched clouds gave birth to new clusters. Within these regions, stars ignited, continuing the chain. Stellar deaths always balanced by new births. The exchange was constant. Galaxies breathed like lungs, inhaling matter, exhaling light. Every motion was part of rhythm. Stars created harmony through their endless labor. Massive galaxies became chemical factories, their stars endlessly recycling. Younger systems inherited a universe already prepared with elements. Over time, rocky planets formed with metals and water. Chemistry advanced toward the potential of life. The future depended on this slow work. Stars laid the foundation for conscious beings. Their labor never ceased. Galaxies carried their legacy through every shining cluster. You are part of this continuum, suspended in the quiet aftermath of stellar work. Each inhale draws in air once cycled through suns. Here, awareness softens, the immensity no longer overwhelming. You recognize kinship with stellar furnaces. You are not separate from this labor. You are one expression of the universe's patience. As galaxies shift and stars burn, your place remains, linked to processes as old as cosmic time. The universe moved patiently for billions of years, its galaxies drifting apart with steady rhythm. Expansion carried on under the influence of gravity. For centuries, scientists assumed the pull of matter would slow this outward spread. Every calculation suggested galaxies should gradually ease into stillness. Instead, measurements revealed a startling twist. Galaxies were not slowing but accelerating. The expansion itself carried hidden force. This discovery reshaped our picture of the cosmos. What once seemed predictable became a mystery guided by invisible energy. Across distances greater than imagination, galaxies raced outward faster and faster. No force we knew could account for their motion. The concept of dark energy emerged reluctantly, a placeholder for the unknown. An unseen driver pushing everything apart. Unlike gravity, which pulls matter inward, this new phenomenon stretched space itself. The fabric grew thinner, forcing galaxies further away. The result was acceleration, not balance. The future of the cosmos shifted under this invisible pressure. Your breath steadies as you hear of this strange discovery. It feels like space itself has secrets hidden in motion. In your mind, you picture galaxies sailing away faster than before, carried by something silent, impossible to touch. Your sense of scale deepens, knowing the universe resists slowing. The very laws of nature lean toward expansion. As you rest with this thought, calm settles. The cosmos continues unfolding without need for haste or worry. Astronomers tested the skies with careful observation, using distant supernovae as cosmic candles. Their brightness revealed distances across billions of years. Those signals told the story clearly. Acceleration was real. Galaxies were not just far, they were moving faster. Even light carried evidence, stretched into red as galaxies fled. Wavelengths extended by constant expansion. The proof left no doubt. The cosmos was ruled by an unseen presence. The term dark energy was chosen, a name without clarity, words marking mystery, not explanation of cause. It filled the gaps in equations, balancing observations. Still, the nature of this energy remained hidden. Unlike matter we can measure, it revealed no direct trace. No particle or wave carried its signature. The unknown stretched across the cosmos, energy without form shaping every distant galaxy. Your thoughts wander as you hear of this energy, nameless yet powerful. It feels as if reality itself hides depths. In quiet moments like this, you realize not knowing is part of wonder. Uncertainty leaves space for imagination. Your rest becomes easier because mystery does not demand answers. It offers a reason to slow and simply listen. As you drift, you hold on to the knowledge that absence is also presence. The universe speaks softly through its silences. Galaxies receded further from each other, distances stretching too great for light to ever cross. Isolation became the fate of every cluster. Over trillions of years, acceleration would scatter them completely. Even nearby neighbors would drift beyond reach. The sky itself would grow emptier with time. Fewer galaxies would remain within human sight. Future observers would see a lonelier universe, darkness expanding between every flicker of light. The energy behind acceleration remains the greatest unsolved puzzle. Scientists build models yet find no clear answer. Every test refines the boundaries of possibility. Still, the essence of dark energy escapes precise definition. In physics, this mystery is both frustration and inspiration, a challenge reminding us how much lies beyond knowledge. Your awareness deepens as you rest, considering galaxies torn away by invisible hands. The image feels heavy yet strangely soothing. Within your mind, you sense no fear, only vastness. Expansion itself becomes a cradle, holding you in gentle motion. Your connection to stars does not fade, even if distances grow. Atoms within you still belong to the cosmic whole. As you sink into quietness, your body feels lighter, like galaxies floating freely, carried by unseen currents. Scientists measure acceleration by mapping patterns in background radiation, faint imprints left after the first light of creation. These ripples carry the story of early expansion, data linking origins to present motion. The connection between first moments and now is unbroken. The universe remembers its entire history in subtle signatures. Through careful study, each new detail emerges, yet dark energy hides behind numbers and distant signals. The mystery of acceleration adds new weight to time itself. The universe no longer guaranteed balance or symmetry. Over billions of years, stars will fade and galaxies empty. Expansion will dictate the future path. The end may not be fire, but distance. Everything pulled apart beyond any chance of meeting. Still comfort lies in the thought that creation continues. The story moves forward under patient forces. You rest more deeply as you picture this widening distance. Silence fills the expanding void. In your breath, there is no urgency, no pressure. Your body feels anchored even as galaxies flee. Your sense of belonging does not fade, it deepens. Connection persists even in infinite space. As you drift further into calm, you accept that mystery is endless. The universe offers rest through its hidden energy. Dark energy may one day dominate completely, overwhelming all other forces. Even gravity will seem powerless in its reach. Over epochs, galaxies will vanish from view, not destroyed but distanced. Empty skies marking the outcome of acceleration. The cosmos would remain, but its light would thin to almost nothing. A universe ruled by unseen pressure. Such visions shape our reflection. The future reminds us how small and brief our time is. The search for answers drives telescopes and satellites. Observatories listen to faintest signals across deep space. In labs, theories are tested through mathematics and thought. Each idea stretched against the limits of data. The mystery remains intact, still shaping imagination. Silence fills the space where certainty should stand. Astronomy teaches us humility. Knowledge always partial, the cosmos forever larger. Your mind relaxes as these truths unfold. Wonder itself becomes your companion. In quiet rhythm, galaxies race away, yet you remain calm. Distance no longer heavy, but gentle. Your awareness slips into dreamlike ease. Stars continue their work even as they drift apart. As you surrender to sleep, the cosmos carries you onward. Expansion itself becomes your cradle. The universe tells its story through light, carrying messages across incomprehensible distances. Photons travel patiently, each one carrying a memory from billions of years ago. Every observation we make is a glimpse into history, not the present. Stars appear as they once were, not as they are today. Astronomers study these signals with care, unfolding the record of creation. Telescopes gather ancient whispers, invisible to the unaided eye. The sky becomes a library of past events, every point of light a record of earlier cosmic moments. The cosmic microwave background is our oldest visible remnant. Radiation released when the universe cooled enough for photons to escape. This afterglow stretches across the entire sky, though faint. It carries subtle variations in temperature that shaped the growth of galaxies. By mapping these fluctuations, satellites revealed the earliest seeds of structure. The patterns confirmed theories of matter, density, and expansion. The background remains the most ancient sight available. Photons that began their journey nearly 14 billion years ago. The Hubble Space Telescope deepened our vision of cosmic history. Its mirrors gathered faint light from galaxies beyond ordinary reach. In deep field images, every pixel contained thousands of galaxies. each a system of stars and worlds. The views stretched imagination, revealing galaxies as they were billions of years ago, their forms smaller and more chaotic than today. Through these portraits, astronomers reconstructed cosmic youth, the order of spirals and clusters emerging slowly from early chaos. Gravitational lensing provided another path into the past. Massive clusters bent light, magnifying galaxies otherwise too faint. This effect created arcs and distortions across the sky. Gravity became a lens, amplifying hidden objects. Einstein's theory predicted this bending long before technology confirmed it. Space itself curved under mass. Through natural magnifying glasses, astronomers extended their reach, discovering galaxies from an earlier cosmic era. Quasars served as bright beacons powered by black holes in galactic centers. Their light pierced through billions of years. These signals traced matter distribution, revealing the great web of structure. Filaments of galaxies stretched across space. By studying quasars, astronomers understood the arrangement of early matter. The universe revealed its architecture across colossal scales. The map of filaments and voids emerged gradually. Light from quasars guided us toward the hidden cosmic skeleton. Infrared eyes expanded our ability to look backward. Longer wavelengths passed through dust, unveiling galaxies once hidden. The James Webb Space Telescope carried this to new depth. Its instruments captured galaxies at their earliest stages. These images showed chaotic structures, clumpy and irregular. Still, they carried the first signs of organized growth. By measuring their spectra, astronomers tracked star formation. The pace of creation was higher than expected in early universes. The truth of looking outward is that we never see the present. Every observation is delayed by the speed of light. Our sun itself is seen as it was minutes ago. Even nearby stars appear as they were years past. For galaxies billions of light years away, the delay is colossal. Their images arrive carrying ages already long vanished. The sky is therefore a time machine. Every observation reveals a story from cosmic history. As you rest, your thoughts drift through these timescales. Galaxies appear young again as light travels across eons. Your breath steadies with the rhythm of patient photons. Each one arrives after journeys longer than any lifetime. Even with eyes closed, you sense the weight of history. Light itself becomes a guide through the silence. In stillness, you are carried into cosmic memory, resting as the universe shares its earliest chapters. The challenge of astronomy is to capture faint light without distortion. Instruments must be shielded from Earth's own glow. Telescopes launched into orbit solved this, avoiding atmosphere's blur. Clearer images revealed faint galaxies invisible before. By stacking exposures over weeks, astronomers amplified signals. The deep fields of Hubble showed countless galaxies in tiny patches. Each patch of sky, once thought empty, overflowed with structure. The cosmos revealed richness hidden by distance. The concept of cosmic archaeology becomes clearer here. Photons are fossils, carrying evidence across unimaginable time. Every measurement tells of density, temperature, and expansion, the physics of the early universe preserved in light. Through precision, we reconstruct the earliest seconds. The maps confirm predictions of cosmology. The universe has kept careful records. Astronomers learn to read its ancient scripts. Your breath becomes deeper as these ideas settle. The immensity no longer heavy, but quietly calming. In your mind, stars appear not as distant but as familiar. Their light connects you to something steady. As you drift further, mystery feels softer. Unanswered questions rest as companions, not burdens. Even in sleep, you remain linked to creation. Galaxies continue unfolding their endless patterns. The sky is not static. Galaxies evolve over billions of years, colliding, merging, shaping the forms we see today. Early galaxies were smaller and irregular, bursting with stars. Their light carries evidence of rapid growth. Over ages, spirals and ellipticals emerged, structured and balanced. The order followed from turbulence. Astronomers watch this history unfold in reverse. Faint galaxies mark the youth of the cosmic fabric. Quasars proved especially valuable for mapping distant matter. Their intense light pierced through hydrogen clouds. The shadows of those clouds recorded absorption lines, fingerprints of elements present at early times. By examining these spectra, scientists reconstructed cosmic chemistry. The story of enrichment unfolded step by step. The details confirmed gradual change over time. Galaxies grew richer in heavy elements through countless stellar cycles. Infrared observations revealed dusty star-forming galaxies, hidden bursts of creation once invisible to optical eyes. The James Webb Telescope uncovered these structures with precision. Galaxies appeared crowded and bright with young stars. Their light stretched into longer wavelengths, redshifted by expansion. Still, the patterns of formation remained clear. Astronomers pieced together these portraits slowly. The early universe became less mysterious with every step. Even with eyes closed, you can picture telescopes working tirelessly, mirrors focusing photons, detectors recording faint signals. As time passes, those images become guides for human thought, reminders of the vastness beyond daily life. Your mind releases tension, replaced with calm. Light becomes a companion, whispering across deep time. In rest, you follow its story. The cosmos carries you patiently into sleep. The journey of the universe began with fire, then cooled into structure. Every stage added to the long tapestry of existence. Across billions of years, stars carried the labor of fusion. Galaxies emerged from darkness, filled with patient motion. The patterns of growth unfolded quietly, guided by invisible forces. Gravity and expansion worked side by side in cosmic balance. All moments connected seamlessly, no era standing apart. The universe carried its memory forward with endless patience. The cycle of stars enriched galaxies with heavy elements. Their deaths seeded new systems with oxygen, carbon, and iron. Every supernova scattered material outward, preparing the ingredients of planets. Each explosion contributed to hidden potential. The building blocks of life spread quietly into interstellar clouds. Chemistry became richer with each new generation. Through this process, the universe prepared for complexity. Slow, deliberate steps written into the fabric of cosmic time. The formation of planets followed naturally. Rocky worlds condensed from dust. Water gathered and atmospheres formed under stellar light. On some of these worlds, chemistry organized itself into living structures, fragile but persistent beginnings of life. The link between stars and life became undeniable. Atoms forged in stellar cores beat within living hearts. In this way, the story of the universe carried forward, from hydrogen's simplicity to the complexity of thought. Galaxies shaped their stars into spirals, clusters, and massive ellipticals. The architecture of the cosmos revealed beauty in order. Over time, filaments of galaxies stretched into vast webs. The cosmic skeleton emerged across unimaginable distances. The patterns repeated on every scale, small to immense. The same laws governing atoms also directed galaxies. In their unity, simplicity and complexity coexisted. The universe displayed continuity across all possible forms. The discovery of dark energy added mystery to this journey. Acceleration drove galaxies further apart with invisible force. Instead of slowing, expansion gained speed, scattering clusters into isolation. Future skies will hold fewer lights. The destiny of the universe may be endless dispersal. Matter thinned until galaxies drift beyond one another's reach. Still, comfort lies within this path. Creation continues to move forward under steady rules. The science of observation reminds us that we never see now. Telescopes reveal only the past. Every photon is delayed, carrying ancient messages. Even our sun appears as it was minutes ago. For galaxies, billions of light-years distant, the gap is immense. We receive only echoes of vanished eras. The present remains hidden, always beyond reach. Vision itself becomes tied to the rhythm of time. As you rest, your mind traces this long thread of history. Galaxies unfold like quiet companions across your thoughts. Your breath steadies as you recall the journey from heat to structure. The cosmos reveals itself as calm rather than chaotic. Even with eyes closed, you sense belonging in this story. Atoms within you echo the labor of ancient suns. In stillness, you feel part of this continuum. The universe holds you gently within its endless motion. The continuity of stars connects directly to our existence. Iron in our blood was once shaped in stellar cores. The oxygen we breathe came from dying stars, spread across interstellar clouds. Each inhale carries the gift of stellar labor. Even calcium in our bones is part of this cycle. The dust of stars rebuilt into living forms. This truth is not poetic metaphor, but physical fact. The universe writes itself into every cell. The story of life is therefore a cosmic one. Biology cannot be separated from stellar history. Our presence on this planet is linked to distant galaxies. Their work enabled ours to begin. Each breath is a continuation of fusion long ended. The ashes of stars became fuel for life. The connection runs deeper than metaphor. It is the literal foundation of our shared existence. The night sky continues to reflect this truth. Every visible star is both present and ancient record. Through telescopes, we see not just brightness, but history. Faint signals trace back to earliest galaxies. Even silence is filled with memory. The background glow still carries primordial patterns. The universe has no blank spaces. Every horizon whispers details of past events. The James Webb Telescope now extends this backward view. Its infrared vision pierces dust to uncover early galaxies. These images show young systems clumpy and turbulent, their forms still unstable in cosmic youth. By measuring their spectra, astronomers reveal chemistry at its beginning. The composition of stars confirms theories of growth. The future of exploration lies in such instruments. Each new discovery draws us closer to the universe's infancy. Quasars mark another step in seeing backward. Their immense brightness crosses billions of years like cosmic beacons. The shadows in their spectra reveal hydrogen clouds. Those absorptions map early matter distribution. Through these studies, the cosmic web appeared clearly. Filaments of galaxies stretched between vast voids. The pattern of structure grew undeniable. Galaxies linked together across immense scales. Even with dreams near, your awareness drifts outward. Stars seem closer as light brushes across your thoughts. Your mind releases tension as time bends softly. The idea of history unfolding slowly becomes a comfort. As you drift further, the mystery feels familiar. The unknown is no longer intimidating but soothing. In rest, the story continues without you needing to grasp each detail. The future of the universe carries uncertainty. Expansion may continue without end, scattering galaxies into unreachable islands. Yet within this outcome lies no loss. The present remains filled with meaning, regardless of distant fate. The laws of physics continue their patient work. Matter and energy still shape cosmic motion. Through acceptance, we find calm. The universe endures as we rest within its story. The threads of this journey return finally to us. Consciousness is part of this vast narrative. Our thoughts are built from atoms fused in stars. Stardust carries awareness now. This link means the universe contemplates itself through us. Matter became mind in this long process. The story is not separate from us. It is written into every part of human existence. Your breath slows as the final connections are drawn. Galaxies fade into background while your own body holds their history. As calmness deepens, you rest as a continuation of stellar life. The universe is within you as much as around you. Even with eyes closed, you sense kinship with distant galaxies, their light still moving toward you across endless distance. In sleep, the story continues quietly. The cosmos keeps unfolding, whether watched or simply felt. The universe does not need closure, only continuation. Its motion never halts but stretches into the future. Still, rest offers us a pause. Within sleep, the cosmos carries on in silence. The story of creation has no final chapter. Every ending becomes a beginning elsewhere. Tonight, you rest within that truth. The universe's calm patience becomes your lasting companion.